Adam, for you this year, the World Juniors and the World Championship, two-time gold medalist in 1 year. How does that all feel for you?
It's first of all, it's an honor to play for Canada in first place and to be able to take home the gold medal both times. I mean, when you're playing for Team Canada, that's always the goal and that's the expectation. But being able to bring both of those home, it's amazing, and I'm extremely grateful to be able to play for both of those teams.
How did you feel you fit in playing with the senior team, the men's team over in Finland and Latvia?
Pretty good. I mean, I think it took me a little bit to get comfortable and to feel out the room and the structure and everything, but once I was able to get comfortable and to acclimate a little bit, I started to get more confident, and I started to play my best hockey in the back half of the tournament there.
Adam, as far as seasons go, quite a few accolades this year. I mean, if you were to kind of plan things out this season, could you have possibly predicted, Hobie Baker, multiple gold medals, a good run with Michigan? I mean, how did this season meet your own personal expectations?
It far exceeded it, to be honest with you. I was really fortunate to get to play with a lot of phenomenal hockey players on a lot of amazing teams. I mean, playing on Michigan for starters, I mean, amazing guys there. That's the tightest group I've ever played for. It's a tribute to our seniors and our leadership group there. They did a phenomenal job, and I think we went a lot further than a lot of people expected us to, coming in with 12 freshmen there, and then having the experience that we did at World Juniors and at World Championships. Those were both phenomenal.
Adam, what do you feel sets you apart from other prospects? What aspect of your game sets you apart from other prospects in this draft?
I'd say my ability to be able to play up and down a lineup. I thought I was able to show that in World Juniors and at the World Championships. I don't have to be in that top role necessarily to be able to have an impact on the game. I think my physicality and compete is something that I pride myself on, and something that I'm able to use up and down the lineup and be a depth guy if that's needed.
When you're a player of your level, like a lot of other years, you'd be in the conversation for number one. What's it been like? Has it helped or hurt that maybe you've flown under the radar a tiny bit with so much attention on Connor?
I think that's kind of been the last couple of years of my career. I mean, I went down to play for Kimball Union and then went to Chicago and went to Michigan. So instead of going right into that light of the OHL, I kind of maybe flew under the radar a little bit more in that sense. In terms of having Connor in the draft as well, he's, like I said, he's a phenomenal hockey player, deserves everything he's getting. There's a lot of eyes on him and in terms of everything that's going to be expected to do with the amount of success he's had in juniors and on the international level. So, I mean, for him, he's going to, in my opinion, he's going to be able to exceed those because he's such an amazing guy and an amazing player. But, I mean, we've been in completely different situations and we're going into draft day in different spots. So it's just going to be a different experience for both of us.
Hi, Adam. Was curious, what was the biggest challenge for you at Michigan this season? I mean, big offensive numbers, but big penalty numbers, the physical play and whatnot. What was the biggest challenge for you?
I don't know, to be honest. We had quite a few young guys. We had 12 freshmen coming in, and I think being able to get a team to be as close as we were was something that we really focused on. And biggest challenge is just going through those dog days together and making sure that everybody's giving it everything they got to be the best team that we could possibly be collectively. Obviously, we had our ups and downs with the passing of Ian Hume and what happened to our teammate Stephen Holt. So I think that adversity really helped us come together as a group and something that helped us down the line. But I'd say those were probably the biggest challenges, and it wasn't even on the ice, it was away from it.
Obviously, you and Connor and Leo kind of considered the top of this class. Through your experiences kind of at the World Juniors and obviously everything else you've played in the last couple of years, is there anyone outside of that group that you view as, maybe a little bit under the radar or underrated as far as, in that kind of maybe 5 to 15 range that you feel like is a really good player that, will get their chance to shine as well in the league?
Yeah, I think this draft has a lot of really good hockey players. I mean, the one guy that I always try and put as much light on as possible is Gavin Brindley. Getting to play with him this year was absolutely amazing. His compete level and his brain and how much he loves the game was phenomenal. I always say he's the best locker room guy I've ever played with, so being able to always be with him in the room and with him in the dorm rooms just hanging out was awesome. But his compete and his work ethic and the way he was able to play after Christmas was phenomenal. I respected it so much.
Going back to the World Championship, what was kind of one thing you, after playing against pros, that you feel like you want to improve in your own game?
I think you just kind of realize it's a pro game, and it's a lot of NHL guys went over there, so you kind of realize like to be the player that personally I want to be and at the next level, I think I got to work on a lot of areas. I got to work on getting bigger. I think I can fill out my frame a little bit more, but decision making, getting faster, and just acclimating to being confident in that kind of environment is something you just got to get used to, in my opinion.
Was there any player on Canada you got really close to?
There's quite a few guys that were extremely helpful. I mean, the younger group of guys, with like Jake Neighbors, Jack McBain, Michael Carcone, P.O. Joseph, Cody Glass, those types of guys were guys that I was able to hang out with away from the rink. But guys like Scott Lawton and Tyler Toffoli and Milan Lucic like helped me figure out how to fit in a locker room like that and navigate situations away from the rink. Just living like a pro and living that kind of lifestyle with them. They were all extremely helpful, but in different ways.
I know you mentioned the interviews with Anaheim and Columbus, but how many interviews have you done altogether this week? And what do you think all the teams that interviewed you and that don't really have a chance, I guess, to draft you were looking for?
I had 11 altogether, but I don't think it's always for right now, to be honest with you. Sometimes trades could happen down the line, picks could switch, you never know. And I think they might be doing due diligence for further down the line in my career and in theirs. So just getting in those rooms, feeling it out, getting to know them, getting to know me, it was a really good experience, and I'm really glad I was able to have that many actually.
Was Montreal among them?
Yes, they were.
Adam, who would you say is your closest NHL comparable and why?
I like to always preface that question by saying I don't think I compare myself to anybody in the NHL. I can't compare myself to anybody in the NHL because they're NHL players. They do it at the highest level and they get paid to do it. The guys that I try and take from the most, I'd say, are Nathan McKinnon and Matthew Tkachuk. Those are guys I try and emulate a lot, but I can't say I play like anybody in the NHL because they're NHL stars.
We'll take one last question here with Wayne.
Did you have any interaction with Steve Yzerman while at Worlds, and if so, what was that like?
So he actually didn't come over to Europe to be with the team or anything like that, but I have gotten to know him here, and I did get to know him because he came in and spoke to our World Junior group there, and I've seen him at some Red Wings games, and I've gotten to build a pretty good relationship with him.
And lastly, you've talked quite a bit about Michigan. Was there something besides playing for the Wolverines that you enjoyed about your year in Ann Arbor?
I mean, just living on campus and going to all your classes and living the school life. I mean, a lot of people might look at it as balancing both, but I think it's just almost having two different sides of things, where when you leave the rink, you get to live like a normal college kid, and when you're done with your classes, you get to go to the rink and have fun doing what you love. So I think it was just having two different sides of your life that you could go to and enjoy, really.
Did you have a favorite class?
I did actually. I had two that were really interesting. I had a English class that was amazing because of my professor. He was a really good guy, and my other class was public speaking. It was really cool. With Jennifer Luther was my professor there. She was great, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.